Right, what's up YouTube? So today we're going to look at some decks from the league from last week. We're going to look at this weekend challenges, both of them, and also the 5-0 deck list from Magic Online from this week. I'm trying to start covering the challenge decks as well, so there pops up any interesting decks in the challenge, you will know, and also if there's interesting decks in the leagues. So this week we actually have 9 decks in total. So it might take a while, but we'll see. So I'll get going with the first. I'm going to start with the last week 5-0 decklist dump, and then the challenges, and then this week's 5-0. And I will also put all of the decklist links in the description below. Right, so let's do this. First off, we have a mono black deck. This is zombies actually. So let's just look through the cards and see what this deck does. So Carnifage is basically a 2/2 for 1. So we have a lot of aggressive zombies. Carnifage is 1. Carrion Feeder is a 1/1 that can get bigger by sacking other creatures. It cannot block though. Festering Mummy is a 1-drop that's hard to block, and especially if you're a small creature deck. Let's set up Reaver makes a zombie when you play it, so it's a 2 zombie. And then we have some very good payoffs. We have a 1/1 for 2 Shepherd of Rot. You can tap it and make both players lose 1 life for each zombie in play. And if you're the aggressor in the matchup, this card is just incredible. Let's say you can tap for like 3 or 4 every turn. That's so much damage. Ghoul Racer. It's a 2/2 zombie that gets a zombie back, basically. Which is good because of the Gampon Polluter. You can cycle this card for black, and when you cycle it, your opponent, or you can target the player, that player loses 1 life for each zombie you have in play. So you are an aggressive deck, but you have a lot of burn to get through things like Moment Peace and Stonehorn Dignitary. And then you have 2 Grim Merchant to like round up the curve. And because you're aggressive deck, you only play 2. If you play like more lands, you will probably pay up to 4 Grim Merchants. Then you have a couple spells. You have 4 Defiles because you are playing 16 Swamps. Goldclothes Chant, it's a zombie payoff as well. You can return 2 zombies from the graveyard to your hand for the cost of only 1 black mana, which is just incredible bit. And then Nameless Inversion, you basically do 3 damage to a creature, and you can get it back, I think. You can get it back with Goldclothes Chant and also with the Gold Racer, because it's a shapeshifter. 20 lands. Sideboard we have Duress to try to get counters of your opponent, try to get life gains, things like just slow you down for the control. Life Staff seems quite good versus I guess versus Burn. Yeah, a Life Staff with Carrion Feeder is basically pay 1 game 3. So if you, let's say you attach or equip this to like 2 or 3 creatures, you're gonna gain so much life your opponent can't really deal with it. Change Edict for Boggles and Mono-White Heroic. Soul Reap for some other creature matchups, and then Fumes for the Elves matchup. Alright, this is pretty cool. I played versus this before in leagues, and it's really good when it's good. Like when you get a Shepherd of the Rot draw or a Gem Palm draw, you can win so fast. You can easily have turn 4 wins, and you have a lot of reach through fogs. Alright, we're moving on, still in the last week's 5-0. This is a deck that I haven't seen before, but some friends told me this guy has actually played this for a lot of years, at least 2 years based on this. So this is a blue-black control deck that has Gurmag Angler as only win con. So you're playing a lot of counter spells, a lot of cheap interaction, like Gaslit Demise, and Thought Scour, and also 2 mental notes to be able to cast Gurmag Angler faster. Um, what I thought was very strange with this deck is that the mana base consists of no fetch lands like Evolving Wilds or Ash Barrens, but you have instead 4 of the Gilgate and 4 Backwaters. So he's playing 8 tap lands or 9 with the Mire, 10 with the Bog, but no Wilds or Ash Barrens to fill up the graveyard, which I found a little bit interesting. I think I'm gonna try this with the fetch lands and see how it does. Maybe I'll put it up on YouTube if I end up playing that. Other than that, we have a lot of cheap card draw, a lot of self-mill, a lot of lot of cheap interaction. Gaslit Demise is perfect with stuff like Thought Scour. It's gonna most of the time is be a destroy target creature in this deck. It looks like. Sideboard, we have very cheap interaction here as well. We have a couple other creatures. We have Stormbright Geist, that is a resilient threat versus decks that have a lot of removal. Edicts for the Boggles and Heroic, Hydroblast for the red matchups, Gutshot for Delvers, or for Sprites rather. Looks pretty cool. I hope I'm gonna check it out. I should also save this link so I can link it in the description. Okay, we're moving on to the Pauper challenge. This is from Saturday's Pauper challenge, and from Curb Links. He played. This is basically mono being control with Bondage Ornament. I actually faced this deck in the challenge with the Black-White Pestilence this weekend, and it was an awful matchup for me. And Bondage Ornament looks pretty cool, so let's walk it through. Arbor Elf is kind of the glue in this deck. Arbor Elf with the Chupa Sprawl or Wild Growth makes so much mana. You can cast Ultimo Crusher on, I think, turn 3 earliest. Then you have some good ramp creatures like Nest Invader that can ramp into, like Mole Shambler that can destroy land, and Torchic of Stress used to keep drawing cards with Monarch. You have 8 land destruction spells, 3 Trumpeting Herd because it's a very good value, 2 Elephants for the cost of 4, and then 4 Bondage Ornament to both ramp and draw very big amount of cards. We have seen this deck before. I think it was Probosh that played it in the former championship in January. Of course, we didn't have Bondage Ornament at that point, so this card might make this deck so much better. It still costs a lot though. Today it's slightly above 20, so I'm hoping for that card to drop before I pick up mine. Sideboard, we have Gleeful Sabotage, good against like Affinity, anything that plays artifacts or enchantments, and probably Boggles as well. Weatherstorm for burn. He's actually playing Memory Leak and Suffocating Fumes, even though they cost black, because I guess you can cast it from Bondage Ornament and you Topper Sprawl. Gloves of Wirebrood seems really good versus Fairy decks, and another Herd is a good value card for like control matchups. Cool. So let's move on. So this I just wanted to acknowledge that this type of fairy desert deck, it actually 5-1 the challenge, and I haven't seen this a lot in the challenge. That's pretty cool. I have gone over this deck before, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it's pretty cool to see. I will also like to make a fast talk about Tron. This isn't a new deck, as some of you probably know, but with Bondage Ornament, this deck is evolving a lot. So probably in a few weeks we're gonna see maybe a more like combined Tron list, but now people are playing a lot of different stuff. So like Birdman Entropy 263, he does not play any Stonehorns main deck. He plays 2 in sideboard. Cut all the tap lands except for Moat and Mortimer. He's playing 5 basic islands because I guess Bonner's Ornament fixes the colors by itself. He does play the Moon's Piece, but no Stonehorns. So I just wanted to get, like, say that this deck is evolving a lot right now, and it's going to be interesting to see where this goes for the next few weeks. The deck seems really good though. So the last deck from the Pauper Challenge is from CVS. He is a streamer called Caleb. Let's see, CVS MTG. Caleb Shearer. He has been streaming a lot of Pauper lately, and a lot of different variations of this deck. This is the cycling deck. So what does this do? This cycling deck plays a lot of different cycling cards, or cycling creatures, rather. So you're playing, yeah, everything except for the Tinderbolts. So you're playing 26 cyclers, 4 Tinderbolts. It costs 1 green. You can sack for 2 red, so it ramps 1. Songs of the Damned is like the card that holds the deck together. You get 1 black mana for every creature in your graveyard. So some of the time you're going to get like 10 or more mana with this. You can get more mana with Cabal Ritual. Land Grant, search for lands. Just thin the deck and get a land. Metamorphosis fixes your color, save with Chromatic Star, and Ripping the Graves gets back all the cyclers. So you're trying to build bigger and bigger Ripping the Graves all the time. And if you like this type of deck, you should very much check out his stream. I can link it in the description as well. He has been playing a lot of different variations of this week. I haven't checked it out a lot, but I've seen some different variations like mono red, mono black on this deck, which is cool. Sideboard. He's playing more lands. I guess versus decks with more interaction, you have to wait longer until you combo, and this kind of land makes 2 mana on the turn you go off, which is cool. He's playing 4 Red Blasts, yes, for the counterspell matchups, 4 Disinterest Deliverance, 4 Relics, I guess, because a Relic is really hard for him to beat. 1 Flaring the Pain for Prismatic Strands, and 2 Gnaw the Bond for the Burn matchup. Pretty cool to see this success in a challenge. Yeah. So this was the challenge deck list for this week. We're moving on to the last 3 decks, which is from this week's league. We're going to look at Slivers first. We have covered this deck before, so I'm just going to go through it fast. So this guy named HNSD MPF has had a lot of success lately with Slivers. He both had a posting last week. He top 32 both the challenges this weekend, and also got a 5-0 this week. He's playing pretty standard Slivers deck, except for he has no Bladeback Sliver main deck, but he does play 2 in the sideboard. But he does not play any red sources except for Gemhead Sliver. So he's very much trying to cast this from the Gemhead Sliver, which is interesting because he could probably change his mana base, which is only 10 of each basic right now, which is pretty strange. Like 4 Ash Barons and a mountain in the sideboard, and then you just throw in the mountain and you still have 5 red sources with Ash Barons. I don't know, this has worked for him, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so what is this? This is a chromatic Tron list with a lot of unusual cards. Let's walk through. First off, 4 Muldrifter, the best card in Tron. Just too good to not play, I guess. He's playing 4 Ruin Processor. So when you cast Ruin Processor, you may put a card from your opponent's exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, you gain 5 life. So how do we do this? We can do it with Memory Lake or Journey to Nowhere. And I think that's only 2 cards actually. Yeah. That is interesting. Well, cool. Well, some decks exile by themselves, but what is good with the rune processor is that it's a 7/8 body for 7, but it also a cast trigger, so even if your opponent counters it, you're going to get the 5 life. Triple Ultimate Crusher is the best creature to ramp into in Pauper. He's playing 1 Burst Lightning, 1 Lightning Bolt for some of removal, and 2 Magma Sprays. Oh, so yeah, right. So he can Magma Spray creature, and if it gets exiled, he can get it back with Rune Processor to gain 5 life. That's why he's playing Magma Spray over Lightning Bolt. Because otherwise, that would not have made sense. Cool. Fitless looting to just loot through your stuff. Find Tron easier. Memory leak, you can cycle, and you can also exile cards for Rune Processor. Playing the 8 chromatic stones, 4 maps, 4 prism, and of course 2 bonus ornament, because bonus ornament is really good with Tron. Triple Yearning for some extra move. 4 mountains as the basic land, makes sense with the removal suit. 1 Radiant, 2 Fangraph. So no Cave of Temptation, but he has a lot of non-color spells, so that's probably fine. Sideboard, we have a lot of different stuff here. Some Dispel, Trickery, a couple of different blasts, 2 Ray of Revelation, 2 Memory Leaks. I think Memory Leak is for the Tron matchup, for the Fog Tron, because that's typically a hard matchup for Chromatic Tron. 1 Suffocating Fumes for Elves and Sprites. Okay, cool. Very nice version of Tron here. We're moving on to the last deck of this week. This video is actually shorter than I thought. Maybe I'm talking too fast. You have to let me know. This is Kung Fu Trees. He has played Pauper for a long time, and he is known for innovating new and interesting deck ideas. This is, I think people call this Bonner, like Kung Fu Tree Ornament Control or something. This is a Jeskai control, Jeskai Ephemerate control deck with Bonner's Ornament. So we're playing a lot of creatures that has enters the battlefield effects, and with Archaean Master you can loop it with Ephemerate, similar to Mnemonic Wall and Flicker in Tron. Yeah, so what are we playing? We're playing 13 creatures that are good in different ways. You can draw cards, you can get stuff back, skip combat, or search more and gain some life. So you have a lot of different creatures that serve different purposes. You have draw spells, of course, in Brainstorm, Preordain, and Compulsive Research. Compulsive Research can also be used to take out your opponent if you need to do that. He's playing some counterspells, 4 counterspells, 1 Dispel. As removal, 1 Bolt, 4 Skreds with the snow-covered mana base. 3 bonus ornament to both be a color source and also draw a card. Mana base is pretty standard. And then a lot of blasts, of course, in a blue-red deck. Only 2 blue blasts. Shenanigans for the artifact matchups, I guess. 1 Prismatic Strands because you're playing white, so you can do that. 2 excludes, 1 Stone Arm for combat decks. Okay, so pretty interesting. Yeah, this was basically the decks I wanted to cover. I hope this wasn't too fast because it's only 19 minutes with 9 decks, but I think I covered the most interesting decks slower, hopefully. So if you want to see both the challenge deck and the leagues deck like this, please let me know. Might try to upload a league with some of these in the future. We'll see what happens, depending on how much time I have. So if you like this, if you have any comments, let me know. If I missed a deck, let me know in the comments. All of these decks will have links in the description, and I'll also link to CVS streams. If you're interested in the cycle deck in Pauper, you should definitely check out his stream. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.